Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anwar Mursyid, and I'm from class A4 2019 with my student number 19220362. Here I'm going to explain about morphology and syntax. Morphology is studies about the structure of the words. The studies tell you about how the words are formed. In morphology, which mean the words, they have the smallest units, which mean the morphemes. There is the terms of morphology, is known as noun, verb, adverb, adjective, and etc., which mean as part of speech. There's example of morphology. For example, morpheme happy. You can add suffix ness to make it happiness, to make it a noun. Unhappy, you add a prefix unhappy, which means un, which make it which it would make it contrast with the meaning of happy. And then you can add both, such as unhappiness, which means the noun of the contrast of happy. This one is syntax. Syntax is the studies of structure of sentences, which mean tell you about how the sentences are formed to make each word are coherent to each other. And syntax or sentences smallest units are words. There's the term of syntax. We mean syntax here is subject, verb, object, complement, adverbial. For example, let I see them, I as subject, see as verb, and them as object. I can tell you another example such as I cooked scrambled egg for mother this morning. I as subject, cooked as verb, scrambled egg as object, for mother is complement and adverbial, and this morning is adverbial. And then here I'm going to explain to you about the text analysis. As you can see that I've been editing the text. The underline is for morphology. Morphology, so you can see that morphology is morpheme plus suffix or prefix. In here, meet as a morpheme, ing as a suffix. Animals is animal as a morpheme, and as to make it plural as an as an suffix. Gathered, same as before, is gathered plus ed. Ed is a suffix. Ruler is rule plus r or er as an as an suffix too. Asks plus ed is suffix. And then capers and grimaces is caper plus s as make it plural. And then animals, such as before, carried is carry plus ed. Ed as an as an suffix, and entirely, entire is the morpheme, and ly as an suffix. And then elected is elect plus ed. Ed is a suffix, and then disgusted is from disgust plus ed. Ed is a suffix. Animals, as before, is animal plus as to make it plural. Then electing is elect plus ing. Elect as a morpheme and ing as an suffix. And unworthy, and as an prefix. Word is the morpheme, and t or y as an suffix. And then ruler, same as before. There's hurrying. Hurry is the morpheme, ing as a suffix. And then touched as a morpheme, and ed as a suffix. Belong, same as touched, as morpheme, and ed as a suffix. And then greedy is greed. Greed is a morpheme, and y as an as a suffix followed same as touch and belonged. Grasps do. Eagerly is eager plus ly. Eager is morpheme. Ly is a suffix. Laugh is a morpheme. Ed is a suffix. And there's shortly. Short is a morpheme. Ly or li is a suffix. And then election is elect as morpheme. And shen or tion is a suffix. And then animals is animal plus s to make it plural. And then proofs, and this proof is from proof plus s is because the leader refers to he or she. And the last one is qualities, is from quality plus es to make it plural. And then here I'm going to tell you about the syntaxes. A grad meeting of the animals. The animals is blue here, which means all blue and in all these texts are actually subject. And then there's red as a verb, green as object, orange as complement, and gray as adverbial. The animals who had gathered to elect the new ruler. Who here is blue because it refers to the animals. Had gathered is a verb. To elect a new ruler is an object. The monkey is the subject, was asked as a verb. To dance an object. He is subject, is the verb, and so well, which means refers to the dance, is the object. With 1,000 funny capers and grimaces, it refers to what he did, which means it's complement. That the animals were carried entirely off their feet with enthusiasm, and then and there elected him their king. The animals here is the subject, were carried entirely off as a verb. Their feet is an object. The enthusiasm is a complement. And then elected is a verb. Him as an object, and their king as a complement. Or it could be adverbial. I don't know. The fox is the subject. If the fox did not vote for the monkey and was so much disgusted with the animals for electing so unworthy a ruler. The fox here as a subject did not vote, which means, of course, it's a verb. For the monkey is the object, and was so much disgusted, which means it refers to the fox was just disgusted. Is the verb. With the animals is an object. For electing so unworthy ruler is the complement. And then one day he found a trap with a bit of meat in it. He is a subject. Found is a verb. A trap is an object, and with a bit of meat is a complement. In it is adverbial, which refers to the trap, what he found. Hurrying refers to the fox that found a trap. That hurrying as a verb to the king, to king monkey as an object. He told him he had found a rich treasure, which he had not touched it because it belonged by the right to his majesty or the monkey. He is a subject, told is the verb, him is an object, he is for the subject. Actually, it could be a complement that he had found a rich treasure. It could be a complement, but I'll explain it separately. He could be the subject, had found could be the verb, a rich treasure is an object, which he is a subject, had not touched. Had not touched as a verb because it belonged. It here is belong to the treasure, which means the object, belong belong by right to His Majesty the monkey is the completing the sentence. And then the greedy monkey followed the fox to the trap. The greedy monkey is the subject. Followed is the verb. The fox is the object, and to the trap is the complement. And then as soon as he saw the meat, he grasped eagerly for it, only to find himself held fast into the trap. He in here is refers to the monkey, which is the greedy monkey is a subject. Saw as a verb, the meat as an object. He grasped eagerly for it. It could be a compliment, but of course I'll explain to you separately. He is a subject. Grasped eagerly is verb for it. It here is refers to the meat, which is the object, only to find himself held fast into the trap. I think this is refers to adverbial because he is support by he grasped eagerly, and I want to catch it immediately because he did it right. The fox is the subject. The fox stood off and laughed. The fox is the subject. Stood off as a verb, and laughed. Also, same. Stood off is a verb. And then the fox says that you pretend to be our king, he said, and cannot take care of yourself. You here is reverse subject to the monkey. Pretend as a verb to be our king. The object is our king. He said. He as a subject, said as a verb, and cannot even take care. Cannot even take care. I think it's supposed to be verb. I think I misclicked it. But with verb and of yourself is an object. Shortly after that, another election among the animals was held. Another election among the animals are the subject because if something happened, was held. Was held is become a verb. Why it's green? And then the true leader proves himself by his qualities. The true leader is as a subject, proves as a verb, himself as an object, and by his qualities as a complement. And that's all for today, and that's all that I can explain to you. I'm sorry if there are any mistakes that I've made. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.